Good afternoon. This is a yoga class where we will start standing and work our way to the earth. So, props that you will want to have, or if you have available. I really like these long bolsters, but I love my mat, so you might use that near the end. Or if you have some pillows for near the end, those are quite nice. Because we'll start off more vigorous and become, a little more still, a little more grounded as we go along. So join me at the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart, or whatever feels grounded and supported for you. Bring your hands to heart center and breathe. Sense your heels on the earth, your forefoot, and lift all of the toes and see if you can place them down one at a time. I know for me, I can't really place them down one at a time. Let's try. Wave through the toes a few times from the big toe to the little toe to the big toe. And pause that and bend the knees a few times, just slightly. And then from here, reach those arms overhead and bring them through to heart center. Again, lift those arms overhead. Take them through to heart center and interlace the fingers as you pass the heart. Perhaps look down at the hands. Inhale, with those hands interlaced. Look up if you can. Exhale, palm to palm. Bring the hands through heart center. See if you can interlace them the opposite way as you press the palms down. A few more like this. Inhale as you rise. Exhale to bring those palms down. This can be at your own pace, does not have to match mine. Finish your last round, reach up, and bring those hands to heart center once more. I greet you here in all living things, and namaste. Reach those arms up. Step back with the right foot. Short stance, warrior one. And this warrior one, bring the backs of the palms together and the arms in front of the body. Roll through the wrists as you open up the arms. Again, repeat this action. I like to inhale as my arms rise. And exhale as I bring them in front of my face and roll through the wrists. Integrate those ribs. Balance weight through the feet. Last time, open across the heart. Reach those arms up. Lengthen the lead leg. And then pour your body forward on the exhale. Hands can come to the earth here as you pull back that left hip slightly into its socket. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bend that lead knee and roll up or move up all the way through the spine here, back to stand. And from here, step forward into tree. That right foot comes to the inseam of the lead leg, or of the standing leg rather. From here, reach those arms up. Bring that right knee forward and send it back behind you as you pitch the body forward, perhaps coming to parallel here. I like to flex the foot of that right leg. You could also point the toes or point them as well. That tends to activate the back of the leg just as much as the front as you integrate the ribs. One more inhale here. And exhale, bend that lead knee and step into a runner's lunge. Long back leg. Engage through the inseams of the legs as you send them back in space, and then hug the outer thighs in. Lean forward here as the arms sweep in behind the body. Interlace the hands, lift up through the chest, and perhaps bring the chest to the inside of the lead leg. Humble warrior. Unleash the hands, plant the right hand and revolve toward the left lead leg. Roll through the top wrist. Reverse the direction of the wrist. And then from here, both hands come to frame the front foot, only so that you can blade the back foot to open up into your warrior two. So you're open to the right side wall here. Drop the back arm as you reach through the left one up to the sky. And then find your side angle, that left forearm to the lead thigh. From here, turn your body, come back onto those toes once more. Arms can sweep behind you here in this lunge. And then lower the hands and step back into a plank. Come forward slightly with the body, and then lower all the way to the earth. Perhaps come into a little sphinx here. Widen the feet if you need space for the lower back. Could even come up into the hands, but we haven't done a lot for the spine yet today. So perhaps be more gentle. Slide those hands back so you can come into a tabletop and round the spine. And arch. Again. Just a few more in your own breath pattern. I like to exhale as I round and inhale as I arch. One more time, round. And then come to neutral spine here. Tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Make sure you have enough distance between your hands and your feet here. Pedal them, those feet. And then walk the feet forward to the top of your mat once more. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. And bend those knees so you can sit into a chair. Arms can be where you wish, perhaps hands at heart center. And bring those hands to the thighs to roll up through the spine. Roll those shoulders. From here, those arms reach up. And then step back with that left foot. Warrior one stance. Again, palms, backs of palms together as you bring them in front of the face. Roll through the forearms and open up the hands. Ooh, dance. A few times here. Last one. Roll through the wrists, lift those arms up. And from here, step forward into tree. That left sole of foot will come to the shin of the opposite leg, or maybe the upper thigh, just never on the knee. As you press foot into shin, shin into foot, so micro bend in the standing leg. One more breath in. As you exhale, bring that knee forward of the left leg and then press the heel back in space and angle the body forward to parallel. Do what you wish here with the arms. Whoops. And again, you could also point that back leg. Really turns on the hamstring for me. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, allow that back foot to land and come into the runner's lunge here. From here, turn this into a warrior two. And drop the back arm. That right arm this time will reach. And then bring both hands down to the earth so that you can rotate toward that right lead leg this time. Hands come down so you can lift part way up and sweep those arms around. Interlace the hands if able, or perhaps bring them to the small of the back as you bring the torso to the inside of the lead leg for humble warrior. One more inhale here. And exhale, bring those hands to the earth and step back into plank. Come forward slightly, and again, you can lower into chaturanga. Again, those knees could be down. Find your version of the up dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Shake the head, yes. And shake it, no. Step forward with that right leg still this time. Blade the back foot. Let's come into the side angle on this side. So, because we didn't do it yet. That right forearm to the thigh. And that left arm will come behind you as you sweep the right one up to exalted. And then turn your toes to the long edge of your mat. And then the toes come out, the heels come in as we sink the hips. And then allow the hands to come down as you lengthen the legs once more. And from here, those hands could walk toward the wall behind you. I like to turn my fingertips toward that wall. And hands come back out. You will be off your mat for this. You can walk them forward with your legs wide. From here, a little scapular push-up. You can drop the chest slightly, sink the chest, and then press the earth away. Sink the chest and press away. You can always have the knees down here. One more. Press. Walk those hands back in. Sweep the hands over again to the top edge of your mat and step forward. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. And exhale to fold. And bend those knees and sweep those arms up, perhaps by the sides of the ears, but again, you don't have to. And lift up to stand. Interlace those fingers, open up through the heart. And then pour your body forward. Slide those hands down the outsides of your body. Plant the fingertips and step back with the left foot. Here, to get into the triangle pose on the opposite side, forward folding triangle. So I left it out earlier. And step back into your plank, only to lower all the way to the earth. From here, come into your Sphinx or your low cobra. And then slide those hands in toward the shoulders to press yourself back. Widen the knees, child's pose. Forehead might grace the earth. Perhaps you even play with the position of the hands. Maybe you turn the palms up. And here we'll slow things down. Those palms can turn back down if they're not already there. And walk those hands over toward the right hand edge of your mat. Might stack the left hand on the opposite one. Take that left hand, slide it along the right arm to open up on a diagonal here. And sweep it closed. Again, sweep it open. And close. One more sweep. And then plant that left hand beside you. You could just stay here, or maybe you're able to lift those hips and sweep the right arm up. And right back down. Hands come forward. Bow to the earth. Sweep the hands over to the left. This time, stack the right one if you're able. Breathe into the intercostals. Then slide that right hand along the right arm, or left arm, peel it back, and sweep it closed. Again. Last one, reach fingertip to fingertip, long through the arms. Broaden across the chest. Then plant that right hand on a diagonal behind you, lift through the hips. Can even cradle the head with the top arm. And lower back down. Plant those hands behind you, fingertips toward your center as you unleash one leg and then the other. You need to find the center of your mat here. Lift through the hips in this reverse tabletop. Let's find grounding through the right foot and extend or reach through the left leg for a moment. Pause here to really press through the whole of the hand. And set it down. Other side. One more inhale. And exhale, plant that foot. Lower the bottom down. Come onto your forearms and extend or lift through the heart and let it sink and round. If you like this, reach at the heart and let yourself round. Last time, reach through the chest. And then lower yourself to the earth, however you need to get there. And lift the hips off the ground. Engage through the back line as those heels isometrically pull toward you. Press the backs of the palms down so the head and the shoulders are grounded. Few breaths here. One more inhale. And instead of letting this go, take that left leg long as you bring all of your weight into the right foot. Lift through the hips. Use the core. And set that foot down. Other side. One more inhale, lift a little higher and lower both feet. Allow the spine to unwind to the earth. Perhaps the palms turn up here. Perhaps the feet come together and the knees widen. Cobblers. And bring those feet back to plant. Cross that right ankle over the left one. Take those hands and weave them through the space between that thigh and loop them around the left leg. Press that left bottom thigh into the hands and the hands press back as we root the pelvis. Flex the top foot to protect the knee. One more inhale here. As you exhale, lengthen the bottom leg out and release the hands, and they could come palm to palm here. Now, if you wish, you could also bend this leg, slide it long, or use your core here and very slowly bring that left leg down. Keep the legs otherwise as they are. Very slowly until they land. And this top leg, it could stay crossed, or you could bring the foot to the inseam of the left leg. For grounded tree, here we are on the earth in tree pose. Flex through the foot of the long leg. Perhaps the arms reach overhead, maybe interlace them. Nice stretch here. Just like you would in tree standing, press that right foot into the long leg, and the long leg presses back, just not on the knee. And then unleash the hands, hug that right thigh in, and then take the left hand and help the thigh cross over to the opposite side of the body. Notice where your gaze lands. One more breath in. And as you exhale, return to your spine, lengthen that right leg long, and hug it in toward you for a hamstring opener. One more inhale. And then bend that right leg. Both legs and arms reach long. Then circle the arms as the feet slide in. Lift up again into a bridge. So the right leg will start. Lift it up to the sky and then lower the hips and then lift. Really grounding here. Lower and lift. Just two more. Last one. And lower that right leg slowly. Slide the heel along the earth until the foot plants and switch sides. That left leg will come up into the air. Extend through the foot as you lower the hips and lift. And think of planting those shoulders and that head down into the floor. Just two more. Stabilize through that bent knee, that bent leg. One more. And lower that right or left leg. Slide the heel in. Lift the leg to the sky. Lower the hips. Lower the foot. That's windshield washer for a moment. Sweep those knees side to side. And then cross the left ankle over the right thigh and weave those hands in for figure four. Again, always flex the top foot. Remember that counter action of that press of the thigh into the hands and the hands pressing back. Wiggle the jaw, move the tongue around the mouth. And then lengthen that right bottom leg. Release the hands and see how slowly you can bring the leg to the mat. Again, this isn't for everyone. You might slide that heel instead. You might get there however you need to. Just find your tree on the earth. I like my foot on the inseam of the opposite leg as my hands perhaps come to heart or interlace a way that feels less comfortable. Think about what thumb you usually put on top, do the other one, and then reach those arms overhead. Back body planted, imagine that foot also planted. As if it were on the earth in a standing tree. Then from here, circle those arms round, pull that left knee in, and have it cross the body for supine rotation. One more breath in. And as you exhale, roll onto your spine, lengthen that left leg for the hamstring opener on this side. Then let that foot come down. Legs long. You might finish in Savasana here, or take that bolster or pillow, place it behind the spine. Bottom on the ground. As you lower yourself over the bolster, I like to have myself in cobblers with my feet together and my knees wide. You might also have the feet planted or knees knocked together. And adjust. I feel today like I want it more under the thoracic, so I'm going to bring it there because this is a little bit of a high bolster. And stay here in this final heart opener. The heart chakra is associated with the color green. You could choose any color. Just inhale, see that light glow a little brighter from the heart center. And exhale, it glows even brighter still. Where's your attention now? Just notice. You can always return to the breath. It's always there for us. Savasana, the most challenging pose. Sometimes when the body is still, mind becomes more active. Not even Savasana, just any restorative variation of a pose, such as what I'm in now. If you can settle in to this moment, nothing else to do, just here, now. you're ready, begin to add movements to the body. Perhaps if the legs were open in cobblers, close them. If on a bolster, roll off to one side. And when you're ready, press yourself up to seated and take your time. If you have that bolster or that pillow, you might choose to sit on it. To see how this feels versus usual variation, Sukhasana. Reach those arms overhead. Bring your hands palm to palm down to the forehead. May our thoughts be kind. Bring the hands to the throat and the mouth area. May our words be compassionate but empowered. And bring the hands down to the heart. Everything we do come from this space. Thank you for practicing with me today. Satnam. Hope you enjoyed your practice today. And that was good. For me, anyway. Have a good day. Bye-bye.